What if I told you that the most important career you will ever have is not written on your resume, and the most meaningful relationship you will ever experience is not with another person? What if your real career is life itself, and your deepest relationship is the way you interact with your own existence every single day? Take a breath with me for a moment, because this idea may sound simple, but it quietly changes everything. We live in a world that constantly asks us, "What do you do?" And we answer with job titles, roles, labels, achievements, but very rarely are we asked, "How do you live? How do you relate to life when things don't go your way? How do you treat yourself when no one is watching?" And yet, those answers matter far more. Life is not a waiting room. Most of us were conditioned, very gently, very subtly, to believe that life is something we pass through on the way to something else. We are taught, study now, life will begin later. Work hard now, enjoy later. Suffer now, rest later. Prove yourself now, be happy later. So life becomes a waiting room. We are always waiting for the right job, the right partner, the right amount of money, the right version of ourselves. And while we wait, we forget to live. But here's the truth. No one sat us down and explained. There is no later version of life. This is it. This moment, right now, is your career in progress. When life becomes your career, think about what a career usually involves: learning, making mistakes, improving skills, adapting, growing with experience, taking responsibility, showing up even when it's hard. Now imagine applying that same seriousness, not to a job, but to living. When life becomes your career, you stop rushing through emotions, you stop ignoring inner signals, you stop numbing yourself just to survive. You start paying attention to how you think, feel, respond, and choose. You realize that your reactions are your performance reviews. Your patterns are your skill gaps. Your challenges are your training ground. And suddenly, nothing is wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the confusion, not the loneliness, not even the failures. Because everything is teaching you how to live better, if you are willing to learn. Why this perspective is so rare. Most people are busy building external success while neglecting internal stability, so they achieve things but feel empty. They have relationships but feel alone. They are productive but disconnected. Why? Because no one taught them how to have a relationship with life itself. We are taught how to perform. We are taught how to compete. We are taught how to impress. But we are not taught how to sit with discomfort, listen to ourselves, trust life, stay present during uncertainty, respect our own boundaries, honor our energy. And when those skills are missing, even a successful life feels exhausting. Your relationship with life shapes everything. Here's something deeply important to understand. The way you relate to life becomes the blueprint for how you relate to people. If you fight life, you fight people. If you distrust life, you distrust love. If you rush life, you rush relationships. If you abandon yourself, you abandon others or tolerate abandonment. But when you develop a respectful, honest, patient relationship with life, you communicate more clearly. You choose partners more wisely. You stop chasing validation. You stop settling out of fear. You feel safer within yourself because you are no longer asking people to fix your relationship with existence. Why so many relationships feel heavy? Let's talk honestly for a moment. Many relationships fail not because of lack of love, but because both people are using each other as an escape from life. They want someone to make them feel whole, someone to give meaning, someone to remove loneliness, someone to distract them from inner emptiness. But that is too much pressure for any human being. When you don't have a relationship with life, you turn relationships into survival tools. And love was never meant to carry that weight. What it means to interact with life. Interacting with life does not mean controlling it. It does not mean forcing positivity. It does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means noticing how you respond to what happens, observing your inner dialogue, taking responsibility for your emotional reactions, choosing awareness over autopilot. Life speaks all the time, through delays, through redirections, through endings, through silence, through unexpected beginnings. The question is not whether life is communicating. The question is, are you listening or resisting? Resistance is the hidden source of exhaustion. So much of our suffering does not come from what happens, but from how strongly we argue with what is. We say, this shouldn't be happening. I should be further by now. This isn't fair. Why me? I can't accept this. And in that resistance, life feels heavy. Time feels slow. Joy feels distant. But when you stop fighting the moment and start working with it, something shifts. Life becomes less of an enemy and more of a teacher. Life is constantly training you. Every situation you face is developing a skill: patience, resilience, discernment, courage, humility, self-trust, emotional intelligence. The problem is, many people quit the training emotionally. They numb out. They distract themselves. They blame. They escape. But those who stay present, even when it's uncomfortable, slowly become grounded. Not louder, not aggressive, not forceful, just rooted. And rooted people don't chase. They choose. When you stop outsourcing meaning, one of the biggest turning points in life is realizing this. No job will give you meaning if you don't know how to live. No relationship will save you if you don't know how to be with yourself. No achievement will satisfy you if you don't feel connected to life. Meaning is not something you find outside. It's something you build through how you show up, through integrity, through presence, through alignment. And alignment doesn't come from perfection. It comes from honesty. Honesty with yourself changes everything. When life is your career, you stop pretending. You admit when you're tired, you're scared, you're confused, you're outgrowing something, you're holding on out of fear, and instead of judging yourself, you listen. Because in a real career, feedback matters, and life gives feedback through emotions. Ignored emotions don't disappear. They repeat louder. Why slowing down is not failure. We live in a culture that glorifies speed, but life doesn't move in straight lines. Growth is cyclical. Healing is layered. Wisdom takes time. When you treat life as your career, you understand that pauses are not setbacks. Rest is part of progress. Uncertainty is not weakness. Not knowing is not failure. Sometimes life slows you down not to punish you, but to realign you. You are always in relationship with life. Even when you think you're disconnected, even when you feel lost, even when you're numb, you are still in relationship with life. The only question is it a conscious relationship or an unconscious one? Are you participating or just reacting? This is where true power comes from. Real power is not control. It's clarity. Clarity about who you are becoming, what no longer aligns, what deserves your energy, what you're ready to release. And clarity grows when you stop running from life and start walking with it. A gentle pause. Let me ask you something. Honestly, if your job disappeared tomorrow, if your relationship status changed, if your external identity shifted, who would you be with life itself? Would you know how to sit with yourself? Would you trust the process? Would you listen? Or panic? These questions are not meant to scare you. They are meant to free you. Because once you build a solid relationship with life, nothing can truly take your ground away. Why this is only the beginning. What we've explored so far is just the foundation. In the next part, we're going to go deeper into why people feel disconnected even when everything looks fine. How to stop abandoning yourself during difficult phases. How to build trust with life instead of fearing it. How this perspective completely transforms love, decisions, and peace. Because understanding that life is your career is one thing, but learning how to live it consciously, that's where everything truly changes. And that is where part 2 begins. What if I told you? Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you feel connected with this content. Good luck, and stay safe.